Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be focusing in on that storm we talked about yesterday and just the updated model guidance, as well as that major snowstorm that is very possible out west in the medium range. Now, before I get into things, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you really think we will have a major snowstorm out west coming up soon? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now, in this video, I just felt really bad for you guys out west. In yesterday's video, I got a lot of people saying like, yo, you don't focus on the west, you just focus on the east. That type of stuff. And I really just wanted to focus on the West mostly and a little bit on the East in this one. So hopefully this one kind of outbalances yesterday's video, and it's just, I want to give you guys a little bit more attention as well. I felt like I tried to feature you guys as much as possible in yesterday's video because I was still focusing on that storm in the East for the primary, focus of the video. But today the primary focus of this video is on that potential snowstorm out west. So starting things out, we're just going to go, from the beginning of the model run towards the end. So we're obviously going to start with the one out east because it hits first. So we see a lot of rainfall here. And if you guys caught the New England Patriots Buccaneers game yesterday, it was pouring in Massachusetts, guys. So we had a lot of rainfall going on. That was an absolutely crazy game. I'm obviously a Patriots fan. I know, don't feel bad for me. It's okay. They missed a kick, whatever. We'll get over it. We're focused on the weather this morning. So I had to get to bed, had to wake up. I think work is really good at just kind of distracting you from things like that. Anyway, 2 a.m. on Monday, which is like, I would say four hours and 45 minutes ago. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot of rain out east already. Here's the storm building in by time we're reaching about the PM hours on Tuesday tomorrow at about 8 p.m. We also see some snowfall up there for western Canada there. Also some rainfall for the Four Corner states as well as the Pacific Northwest. That negative PNA is really allowing for you guys to get more storminess here. It's super interesting how that just completely flips up you guys' pattern entirely. Here's by the time we're reaching about the very late hours of Wednesday, I would say approximately 11 p.m. or so here on Wednesday, October 6th. We do see some rainfall going on here in the east still with that first storm. But eventually this one begins to move kind of further north and weaken a bit by the time we're reaching about Friday at about maybe 11 a.m. We still see some storminess out west going on, and that really builds in by the time we're reaching about 2 a.m. on Saturday. Again, that storm out east, not as widespread, not as potent anymore, but we do see this one out west strengthening. We do see some snowfall as well for Montana, Idaho, a little bit of Nevada and California as well, and then a bit of Washington. Not Washington. I don't know why I just said that. Colorado and Wyoming. I think that's what I meant to say. So yeah, we do see some snowfall going on. 2 p.m. on Sunday. That's going to be October 10th. We could see a lot of that snowfall still going on for Colorado here. We do see some storminess out east, but it is generally coming to an end. But we see a lot more snowfall entering into Washington. Yes, Washington actually now. We see in Canada up there as well, we see a lot of widespread heavy snowfall, and this potent low pressure system is going to make its way down eventually. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is the total snowfall up to this point before the big snowstorm moves in, just to see how much we can expect before that. And then we're going to take a look at that big storm that's going to move in, the major snowstorm, and then we'll take a look at the total snowfall. We'll even take a look at the total rainfall for the entire United States as well, just so you guys can see the flooding risk also. Now this is by the time we're reaching about 2 p.m. on Sunday. This will be the total snowfall through that point. You can see a lot of that snowfall is up there in Canada. That is that snowstorm that's going to move down. It's going to be a lot bigger than anything we saw before it. And as you can see, if you're anywhere in the grays or the blues, you're under 6 inches of snowfall. If you're in the purples, you're at about 6 to 10 inches of snowfall. And then if you're in the pinks, you're at 10 inches plus, which is where I would probably begin to consider this a major snowfall event for these areas, considering the time of year. Although snowfall does become very normal for you guys in October typically, even September, it's not too rare. Now let's take a look at that simulated radar again. This is going to be about 8 p.m. on Monday, October 11th, or a week from today. And you can see this major snowstorm beginning to move down. Widespread snowfall throughout Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Nevada, Utah, Oregon, Washington, even Northern California there as well. This is going to be a very widespread snowfall event if it does occur this way. We can see another low pressure system out east of it. I would say located probably over Iowa, bringing some snowfall, rainfall out there for the upper Midwest and a lot of the Ohio Valley as well. And that storm could have some floodiness impacts for sure. Let's take a look here at approximately 6 a.m. here on Tuesday, October 12th, and you can see this low pressure system dives down. And when we see these low pressure systems kind of horseshoe around a negative PNA, this is typically when we see the biggest snowstorms, like at all in the United States, but some of the biggest snowstorms out west for sure. Some of those classic blizzards have featured this type of a track as well. Very slow horseshoe around the Rockies. And I don't think this one will be historic by any means, but I'm just kind of pointing out that this does have more of a classic, very impactful track to it as well. We do see a lot of heavy snowfall going on here by this point for Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and even Montana by this point. Likely dropping 12 inches plus already for some mountaintop regions, and this is going to continue to bring snowfall actually as well after that point. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to about Wednesday, October 13th. We'll move up into even when this storm moves away and kind of ends, and we even see another major snowstorm moving in right behind it. And then we'll take a look at the total snowfall and then the total rainfall for the entire United States, like I said. Now, this point, you can see that next snowstorm as well, moving in through the Pacific Northwest. I feel like you guys are getting some snowfall earlier than you guys typically do up there in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe it's just me, but I mean, October 13th seems a little bit early for you guys. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if that is the case. But this is 2 a.m. on Wednesday, October 13th, 2 days more than a week, so about 9 days or so here out, and we can see that there will be one low pressure system again horseshoeing around the Rockies, bringing a major snowstorm, and it kind of remains unknown what this next one would do, but typically we do see these ones kind of just follow a very similar track to the low pressure system right in front of it, especially considering the very short distance between the two storms in time frame. If they were happening like 3 or 4 days apart, you wouldn't necessarily feel like it's going to take the same track. But considering it's like 2 days behind the one in front of it, the wind patterns are likely in a very similar position to what they were for the first one. I hope that makes sense. But what you can still see, it is probably puking snow for Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, and a bit of New Mexico as well by this point. And then for the Cascades there in Washington and Oregon, and maybe even some surrounding regions, a definitely heavy snowfall as well for you guys. Now, by the time we're reaching about 2 p.m. on Wednesday, October 13th, so just, I would say, 10 or 12 hours later from that last frame we took a look at, you can see this next one is the one that is now bringing widespread snowfall to the western United States, a lot of the mountainous regions, and some of the lower elevation regions as well, actually. That is mostly due in part to that negative PNA allowing those colder temperatures to move in, allowing for more areas to see snowfall. So that's what you have to thank for that. We see our first snowstorm is a 983 millibar low pressure system, a very, very strong low pressure system over South Dakota, bringing some snowfall to Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, and South Dakota as well. But by the time we reach about 8 p.m. on Wednesday, it should be all rainfall as it moves into more warmer regions here. Now, our next low pressure system, and this is the last frame on the model run, is just approaching Washington State by this point, but it's already bringing snowfall to the Cascades, a lot of other regions in Oregon as well. The mountains of California, we see Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and Utah already seeing snowfall from this one. So I'm excited to see what these storms have in store for us in the future. We have one major one on the horizon and then possibly another major one after it. Which one will be bigger? Which one will be more impactful? I don't really know, but it is exciting to see these winter-like things happening. Now, for the total snowfall through the entire model run, so this does include what we showed in the beginning as well, and then the snowfall that happened after it on top of it. And as you can see, again, if you're anywhere in the blues or grays, you're under 6 inches of snowfall. If you're anywhere in the purples to pinks, you're at about 6 to 20 inches of snowfall. More specifically, 10 to 20 in the pinks, and then under 10 in the purple there. So the pinks is again where we're expecting major snowfall, and there's many different regions seeing the pinks here. And then we see those kind of pastel blues and purples going on. That is where we're at 20 inches plus. So you can see that is pretty exclusive for the very tippy tops of mountains there. but still interesting to see those very large amounts of snowfall. This model indicates there's a maximum of 70 inches of snowfall expected somewhere. My guess is that it's in western Canada there somewhere where you get those really pastel kind of pinkish purple shades. That is indicating the very high amounts of snowfall. Anyway, let's get into that rainfall quickly, and this is just total precipitation, so this does include the snowfall as well, and rainfall, unfortunately. I wish it was just rainfall, but it is just total precipitation here. Now, out west, we can see the Pacific Northwest is expecting a ton of precipitation between these two storms, even the Rockies, but that's going to be mostly in the form of snowfall. Let's move out east, though. And you can see that there is some flooding rainfall, especially there in the southeast where we're getting those reds and browns. We talked about that yesterday. That is where you're at about 2 to 5 there in the reds, and then even 5 to 10 inches of rainfall there in the browns. That is where flooding is certainly a possibility, and even major flooding in flood susceptible regions. Anyway, I hope I focused enough on the West for you guys today. I want to give you guys enough love. I want to give you guys my full attention for sure, especially with these two major storms on the horizon for you guys. I've been wanting to talk about this, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to do so. For today's confidence tab, we're at a 4 out of 6 because we primarily talked about that longer range storm, and I'm a little less confident in that one than the one that's just upcoming, obviously. But yeah, that's why my confidence looks like that. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys yesterday, which state do you think could see the most rainfall with this upcoming major storm for the east, the eastern one? And Cloud Watcher said, my guess is Mississippi is going to see over the top rainfall. It looks like the heaviest rain will be in the southeast, and I definitely agree there. We saw that on the total rainfall just a second ago. Somewhere there in the southeast will likely see the most rainfall. Now, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons. John Ben Bennick, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Lair the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, and Patrick Strickland as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kudalesa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Sidney Klein, Alan Goodmaben, Bill Dallas, Gary's, John Khaleesi, Dwight Phelan, Stephen Kernenthal, and Thomas D. Barr as well. If you'd like to be a part of this very awesome patron entry of the day, you can do so by joining our very amazing Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. I would also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. This will be located next to that subscribe button if you are interested in joining. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I will see you guys in the next video.